Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Italian-West German Monacan co-production of Lo Strangolatore di Vienna, which is Italian for the Vienna Strangler. Now, before we talk about the Vienna Strangler, we're going to talk about the star of the Vienna Strangler, Victor Buono. Victor Buono showed up on the scene in 1960 on the TV show Thriller. Thriller was an anthology thriller show where Boris Karloff hosted all the episodes. And in this particular episode, which was called The Girl with a Secret, Victor Buono, which right now, guess how old he is right there. He's like 22 years old. They did add that gray to his hair, but the guy always played, he was somewhat known for playing roles that were older, much older than he was. Anyway, he played this like spy, like foreign spy type guy in this episode. So it's a 50-minute episode, so it's almost like a mini movie. Then he probably is most renowned for this role. Actually, this is his voice there. This is actually a picture of him from that movie, which is actually 2 years later than that other picture. I think he's like 24 years old here. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? What that featured Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. We've seen Joan Crawford in Trog. We talked about that, although this was about 8 years before Trog. Two actresses who had a real-life rivalry and then agreed to be in this movie together, where they had a sibling rivalry in the movie. And the whole movie is basically the two of them, and then about halfway through the movie, Victor Buono shows up and is hired by Betty Davis's character to play piano so that she can sing songs over it. That's like super oversimplified, but he actually got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in this movie, so that's pretty significant. After that, he started doing a whole bunch more movies. I'm not going to show them all here because I'm just going to show the ones that I watched. He did The Strangler, which is important for our video. The Strangler, as you can guess, is about a guy who strangles women. Serial killer movie, 1964. Victor Buono did a good job being a total creep in this movie. Not as good as Baby Jane, but it was still pretty good. The problem with this movie was that every time he strangled someone, the strangling sequences were really bad. Everything else about the movie was pretty good, but the strangling sequences were bad. He's also very well known for being in the Batman TV series as King Tut. I should have put up a King Tut slide because he looks absolutely ridiculous as King Tut. He was in 10 episodes of Batman. He was also in Target Harry, which was almost a TV show. I don't know if you can see him, but he's up here. And in this one, he plays a Turkish crime boss. For some reason, I don't know if this is like some kind of gimmick or what, but he plays a different ethnicity with a different accent in every movie. He was English in Baby Jane. In that Thriller episode, he had some strange European accent, probably, I don't know what it was supposed to be. Basically sounded American, but every time he said a word with the letter R in it, then he sounded different. He was American in The Strangler. He's Egyptian, I guess, or semi-Egyptian in Batman. He's Turkish in this movie. This movie was about an ex-con who's also a pilot, and he flies a guy to Istanbul, and then the guy is like almost immediately assassinated. Then people think that he's the one that killed him. Meanwhile, the guy was assassinated for having some plates, like counterfeit plates from the UK, and then Victor Buono is trying to get the plates, and he thinks that this dude has them. Actually, this is Vic Morrow. who was in a whole bunch of movies. He was in, what's that movie? 1990 Bronx Warriors, that Warriors ripoff. That was it wasn't that. This was actually better than that. This is pretty good. Moving forward, all right, in 1971, we've got the Vienna Strangler, also known in Canada as Meat is Meat, and in the United States as The Mad Butcher. Now, this movie, as you can probably tell from this artwork, which I think that's a VHS box art, he is a butcher in Vienna, Austria. It's interesting because it's not an Austrian film, but anyway, I don't know why they said it there. But he's a butcher in Austria. It was filmed in Austria, and he ends up killing people and turning them into sausage, as you can kind of tell by the ridiculous small woman in a little sausage grinder. Now, this is a hand grinder. There's no hand grinder in the movie. It's an automatic grinder. But anyway, I would give it a 6 out of 10, even though I really like Victor Buono, okay? And he's good in this, although he's not as good as he is in some of those other credits I just said. This is our second horror comedy of this whole channel. We had They Only Bite at Night, The Vampire Happening by Freddie Francis months ago. And now we have this. And the thing is, they don't really get the mix of comedy and horror right, if you ask me. There's no blood in it, and you don't really see him kill anyone other than strangling them. And I guess that they're going off his older Strangler role, and they just like wanted him to like reprise the whole strangling thing. So he strangles people, not just women in this one, and then he ends up grinding them up in the sausage thing. You don't see them getting ground up, but you do see the sausage. So if you are putting your imagination to it, it's kind of gory, but in reality, it's just like actual, like, you know, pork sausage or whatever. But like, it's supposed to be human sausage. And so you are seeing like actual ground up flesh, you know, like, so it's kind of gory, but not really, because you're only seeing sausage. Like, you don't see any blood or anything like that. So, and the comedy aspect is just like too silly. I don't know if all 70s comedy is like super silly. The Vampire Happening was silly, but I liked it more. This one, the comedy didn't do much for me. You can kind of hear that music. It's like, oh, like silly music. Anyway, I think that might be it. I just want to say that whoever made this Canadian poster, it really disrespected Victor Buono. Look at what they made him look like. He makes that face for like a split second in the movie. So that's kind of messed up. It also says down here, sausage lovers don't see this movie. That's ridiculous. Yeah. That's pretty much it for this one. Victor Buono also did a Giallo the same year, so I'm gonna check that one out. See if it counts as horror, or if it's more like a mystery type thing. So we'll check that out. Victor Buono not looking too good in the Italian poster either. He was only 32 when he made this movie. Man, he looked like he was about 48, 50. So that's too bad. All right. That's it for this one. See you next time.